Hello everybody, this is Melissa from stampwithmelissa.com here. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Minnesota, which is in the United States, and today I'm really excited to share a Create with Color Challenge card with you. And so this is the card we're going to make today. This is cased from page, I believe it's 67 of the July through December mini catalog, 2021 mini catalog, which is sadly retiring soon. We have just a couple weeks left. I'm using several items on this card today that are actually retiring. I wanted to give them a little bit of love before they were gone. If you are in need of any of the supplies I used today, you can find all of those product links down in the description box below, and you can just, click on the link and it will add it right to your cart for you. So let's go ahead and get started with this gorgeous card. All right. So for my card, I am using, oh my gosh, wait, hold on. I didn't tell you what the colors are for the color challenge. Hold on one second. So the colors are, let me bring this back in. We've got Crumb Cake, which you can see here on the card base. Then we've got Cherry Cobbler, Garden Green, and Pool Party. Okay, so we've got 4 awesome colors. Obviously, black and white are always allowed. And so, okay, now we can officially get started. All right, so we were using Crumb Cake for our card base. Then I have a piece of the Harvest Meadow DSP. Whoops, actually 2 pieces here. This one's gonna go on the inside. And this is that beautiful winter tree kind of look. And we've got a piece of Basic White that will also go on the inside. So I'm gonna just set these guys off to the side since they're for later. And then I've got a piece of Basic White here. Now, all of the measurements can be found on my blog, but I did want to tell you with this one, I went ahead and scored this using my trimmer, and I started at 1/4 of an inch. So I did 1/4, half, 3/4, 1, etc., all the way through to get that kind of textured look there. And then I've got a little piece of cork, which is also retiring, a little piece of Pool Party for our sentiment. And then I already went ahead and stamped and die cut our cloche shaker there and the birds here. Whoops, I dropped one. Oh my gosh, they're so little. Okay, 2 of the birds there too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're actually going to start with our shaker piece. So I'm going to just scoot those other pieces off to the side. And oh, let me show you real quick the stamp sets we're going to use. So we're using Classic Cloche. Classic Cloche. This is retiring, sadly, but this is where we get that dome from, these birds. We're going to use this image as well, but instead of using the stamps to color in the bird, we're actually going to use blends. And then we're also going to use the Sweets and Treats stamp set, which is also sadly retiring, but you can see that that kind of coordinates here with that same cloche idea. But we're going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment. Now, the original card in the catalog used this sentiment that said warmth, joy, and happiness, but I don't need any more Christmas cards, so I wanted to change it into a birthday card. This is a perfect winter birthday card. And then last but not least, we're going to use Sunny Sentiments from the annual catalog, and we're going to use this birthday sentiment down here for the inside. All right. So I'm going to bring in my Tuxedo Black Memento Ink pad and this cute little bird image. We're going to go ahead and ink up our birds here in the black ink and stamp them right into our cloche. I hope that I'm saying that correctly. Okay, before we're done, let's actually go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to trim down this Pool Party piece before we completely attach it to our card. So I'm actually going to just still center this, but just know we're going to kind of trim off the sides a little bit. Okay, so now that we're done with our black ink pad, I can move that out of the way. And then what we're going to do is we are going to use our Pool Party ink pad and a blending brush. Now, I use a blending brush for all of my light blues. So I use this for like Coastal Cabana and Balmy Blue as well. So I just put a little bit of Pool Party on there, and then I'm just going to lightly go inside my little cloche here. Nothing too drastic, but I just wanted to carry over some of that color. I don't know which concept artist from Stampin' Up! Originally designed this card, but I wanted to give some love to this Classic Cloche bundle before it was officially gone. And of course I turned to the catalog for inspiration. I love doing that, and I love casing cards directly from the catalog because that's what they're there for. And being so close to the holidays, my brain is like no longer creative. It needs a little bit of a reset because it has just been going designing Christmas cards. So All right, so we added some Pool Party there. You can see it's a little bit stronger over the birds. That's okay because it's going to go away. Then we're going to bring in the Garden Green ink pad. And I have got the little stamp here that goes ahead and colors in our leaves. Now I'm going to line this up, and I'm being a little bit more careful because I can't get my head right over it since I'm recording. There we go, that looks pretty good. And so you just want to line that up, and it's actually not too hard to do, especially if you can stick your butt out and get your head right over it. All right, so then let's go ahead and we'll color in our cute little birds. And like I said, for these, we're actually going to use blends. I liked the look of it being kind of full body, and the stamp in this set only kind of does the top half of the bird, so I wanted to use my blends. I am using Cherry Cobbler, which is a beautiful Christmas color, but I thought it also kind of looked like cardinals, and so I wanted these birds to kind of look like cardinals. I don't know what kind of birds these actually are supposed to be, but I think they're pretty basic. All right, so we've got one little birdie colored. Now we'll do the next one. Now, how I like to use my blend markers is I like to start with a dark color and do all of the areas that are going to be shadowed. And then I like to go back in with my light and blend everything together. Now, some people, there's no right or wrong way to use blends. Some people like to color everything with the light first and then go in with the dark and add their shadows. You can just do it however you want, whatever feels more natural for you. Now, I learned, and it feels more natural for me to do the dark first. And then if you wanted to, you could go back over, of course. If you let those kind of dry a little bit and go back over, you can get really dark shades. So, okay, let's go ahead and assemble everything. We're going to take our card base here and this piece of Designer Series paper. Now I'm going to use liquid glue for this part because this Designer Series paper is going to cover the entire card front. There's going to be no border around, so you're not going to be able to see any of that crumb cake. So I like to use my liquid glue just to give me some time to wiggle it into the right spot. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. Now I can tell I cut this piece a little bit long, so we're going to go ahead and flip it over. You can see that that Designer Series paper is peeking there. So I'm just going to use my paper snips, and we're just going to trim this off. So I'm lining up the blade with the edge of that cardstock there and just cutting. Whoops, and then I lost it. Okay, there we go. All right, and then this piece we'll just get rid of. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and decorate our little basic white piece, okay? So I'm going to start with my dome, and you can see I had to flip it over because I messed up a little bit the first time I was doing it. I didn't leave enough space for this top part, and that's okay because paper has two sides, right? So there was plenty of opportunity to fix it. All right, so we've got that tacked down. Then I'm going to grab our little cork piece. And again, all of these measurements are on my blog. The link to that is down in the description box. And I'm just going to line this guy up. I want it to be centered. So we'll just go ahead and line him up there like that. And then as I mentioned before, I am going to trim this guy down a little bit. So I'm just going to eyeball this. You could use your trimmer as well. And I'm just going to snip off just a little bit off of each side there. Okay, then I'm going to flip this over and put some dimensionals on the back. Now I will say that the measurement of this Pool Party piece on my blog is the piece that it is final, okay? So you won't, if you cut at the measurement I give you, you shouldn't have to trim anything off unless you want to. All right, then let's go ahead and flip these birdies over, and we're going to put a dimensional on the back of each of them as well. So cute. I love this card. I just saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And of course, this cloche has so many gorgeous images in it. Okay, so you can see there that we've got those bird stamps, so that actually makes it pretty easy to go ahead and line these up. And because when you die cut them, it gives you a little bit of a border, you actually can't see the original bird under there. So it works out pretty well. All right, then I'm gonna flip this guy over. We're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of him because you can never have too many dimensionals, right? All right, so I'm adding 6 here. We'll take off all of these backings. And then we will flip it over and get it centered onto our card front. Just like that. And then before we're done on the front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my black twine. This is from the Twine Essentials pack. You can see I'm just kind of trying to make it a little bit straighter because it's wrapped around this piece. It kind of likes to curl a little. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. Now I like to tie my bow while the twine is still on the spool because then I don't waste very much. Whoops. And you can tell that these are not my ribbon scissors, so that didn't cut very well, but you know what? It worked. So, all right, then I'm just gonna tighten this up a little. Make it a little prettier. There we go. Move that guy out of the way. Then I'm going to use a glue dot. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab it with my fingernail. Okay, in the top of my finger here, and I'm just gonna crush it into a little ball and stick it right there. And then we're gonna make sure that our twine covers it. Just like that. Look at how cute that is. All right, so then we can go ahead and take this, we'll fold it and burnish it with our bone folder. And last but not least, we will decorate the inside here. So I'm going to bring in my Pool Party ink again. I wanted to add some extra Pool Party, and then I've got our inside sentiment here that says, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. We're gonna go ahead and stamp that down. I'm stamping it a little bit to the left because I'm gonna add that strip of DSP, and I just wanted it to look a little bit more centered once this piece is in. All right, then I'm gonna use my liquid glue again. And you'll notice I'm not going all the way to the bottom because I know we'll have some extra that we'll need to cut off. So, okay, so then we're just gonna line this up. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a border on the right-hand side, probably about 1/8 of an inch or so. So we've got that done. Then we'll just use our snips again. And I apologize, our water heater just started, so you might hear some background noise. But hopefully you don't hear it too loud. All right. There we go, we just snipped those guys off, and we will add some seal to the back of this and get it adhered to the inside of our card. So this was such a fun card to make. I hope that you are inspired by either the design or the colors. Because this is part of my weekly Create and Color Challenge, I do challenge you to make a card or a project using these colors as your inspiration, and I hope you'll share them with me as well. You can also share them right in my Facebook group. The link to that is down in the box below with everything, right? And as I mentioned before, the measurements are on my blog, the products used are on my blog and in the box below, so make sure you check that out, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or anything. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. That lets me know you would like to see more content from me. And I will, oh, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. All right, I will catch you guys next time. Bye for now.